Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Sammons, and in each episode we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving future growth. Today I'm joined by Meg Hutson, the founder of Meg Hutson, a consultancy helping small business owners and entrepreneurs simplify their marketing, strengthen their messaging, and attract their ideal clients with clarity and confidence. With years of experience in brand strategy, copywriting, and digital marketing, Meg is passionate about helping businesses cut through the noise, turn complex ideas into clear, result-driven communication. Meg, very warm welcome to Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hello, thank you very much for having me. It's exciting.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So typically with all of my guests, I do like to start at the beginning of their journey. So can you maybe take me back to what it was that you was doing before you started up the company, and then what motivated you to do so from there?
Yeah, so for me, it started like way back in my teens. I've always had chronic illness. I was always struggling to keep up with everybody else. Everyone was doing their uni applications. I was just trying to make it into school. Ended up actually having to leave school when I was 16. So I literally had 5 GCSEs, no A-levels, and no prospects. It was very much thought I would never have a full-time job, never have a career. Ended up actually opening a shop with my mum. And so for me, that is where it all began, was because we suddenly had this shop that was costing a lot of money and we needed to get some customers in. So I started studying marketing, I started a Facebook group, we had email newsletter, all the classics, but I literally learnt it on the job until I went and studied with the CIM. But for me, everything I learned was on the job. So that's where I first got into marketing and into business as well. For me, it's not so much that I love marketing, it's that I love the power marketing has to drive your business. So yeah, for me, that really ignited my spark and my energy for business. And that's then become helping other people to do the same.
I love it. So really like learning in the trenches, like getting the experience while on the job. I feel like that's such a great way to do things. Like I know a lot of people say you have to go and study and you have to go to uni. No, I really love that you've just jumped into an environment. You found something that you love and you're very passionate about just by coincidence.
Yeah, definitely. And it means that I completely understand where my clients are coming from. I'm not throwing out jargon. I've not spent years and years working in marketing agencies and trying to fleece people or whatever. It's purely, I know what you're going through right now and I can help you get out of it. And that just comes from a really genuine lived experience.
Yeah, I love it. So let's dive into the business a little bit more so the listeners can have some more context. So who would you say is it that you love to work with the most? Like who's your ideal customer? And then from there, how is it you help them and how you support them?
So I work with very purpose-driven founders,
Okay.
people who are doing good in the world and they want to do more of it. So it's a lot of coaches, a lot of consultants, people like that, maybe life coaches, career coaches, where they've started a business from their own passion. So much like myself, I suppose, they've started this business because they know that they can really, really help people. But unfortunately, the gap that a lot of people then kind of hit is, where do I get customers from? I know I'm amazing at doing this. I can help people change their lives, but how do I actually tell them about it? The old kind of build it and they will come, unfortunately, isn't really the case anymore. You need to be getting yourself out there. So those are the people that I help. It's generally the solo founders. Sometimes they've got a small team, but it's people who either are starting from the beginning and they need to lay out their entire marketing strategy, understand how everything works, or sometimes it's that they've got themselves into a bit of a marketing mess, is how we put it, where they are told they have to have Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, email newsletters, all these different things that you can't manage yourself. You can't do all of it when you're also trying to then do your coaching and every other aspect of your business. So I help them actually put clear steps and a clear strategy in place, whether that's from the start or whether it's that we're assessing everything they've done and making it clear for the future.
Love that. And yeah, as you said, like a lot of founders, entrepreneurs, whether it be coaches, consultancies, a lot of agency owners as well, they really know what they're doing very well. But again, maybe you was put in that position when you run the shop with your mum where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing in terms of sales. I don't know what I'm doing in terms of marketing. And it is very overwhelming when you have that pressure on you to bring people in and you just don't really know how to crack it.
No, and you really, really want that business to work. Like a lot of people have started businesses maybe because they don't quite fit the societal norms. And that's definitely what it was for me, is I was never going to fit a traditional career, but you're made to feel like you're maybe wrong for doing things differently. So those people, they don't want to have to go back to work. They don't want to go back and try and fit into like the society's box. So if
Yeah,
I can help them to make their mission work, then I am very happy.
I love that. So you get the fulfillment out of it as well, which
Absolutely.
so typically how long is it that you'd spend within or with a founder helping them? How long is the program and typically kind of what does it involve?
So my core program is 6 months. I do shorter terms as well. I do intensives, but my core one-to-one program is 6 months and it's very high touch. So we have a couple of calls a month, but we're also messaging often most days, just going backs and forwards with ideas, with plans, sorting out messaging, sorting out copy, content, everything, and if somebody's about to launch, I'm there being like, okay, well, have you thought of this? Have you, remember to email everybody? Like, I'm
Yeah.
so excited about their business. So that's my core program, is that 6 months where we work one to one to really get everything nailed, get it all, get your understanding there. With the idea being that after that 6 months, you can carry on if you want to,
Mm.
but the idea is that you've got that understanding, you've got the confidence to then take it forwards yourself, outsource it if you want to, but you completely understand your strategy, you understand what will work and how you can keep tweaking that over time.
Yeah, I love it. So more of a done with you service rather than a done for you. So like you're hoping that they will eventually, as you say, kind of leave and really
Fly the
have the
nest.
power. Yeah,
Yes.
fly the nest. Have the
Yeah.
power to kind of really be in control of it themselves moving forward. Very,
That's it. Yeah, I used to do a lot more of the done for you, but I really enjoy the people side of it. So I really like getting to support people through every aspect rather than doing it for them and then it's not as involved and it's harder to get their passion across. Where
yeah.
I'm working with people that are so passionate about their work, in a lot of ways it does have to be them that does the content writing, that manages everything, because that's how we really share our passion, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Sharing stories and ideas is definitely at the forefront. So
Yeah.
typically, will you like fully immerse yourself into the companies for the 6 months, or is it more of a like, there's a program and I'm just here for touch points if you need me?
I would say it's somewhere between the two. So everything I do is remote, but
Nice.
I'm always really interested in all the aspects of the business and how it works. Because I think something people, in my opinion, get wrong with marketing is they build this business and then they go, okay, how are we going to get it out there then? Whereas really, marketing should be completely embedded from the start in the sense of like your target audience. Have you actually completely understood what they need and created the product that they need? Or, literally all of it is tied to marketing, your pricing, everything. So I do get very involved in their business. I'm not a business coach by any means, but I do like to understand how everything works and I suppose share my views on it all as well.
Yeah, 100%. And marketing is such a crucial part of the business. As you say, like if you're not solving a problem with the marketing and you're not looking for people whose problem you can actually solve,
Mhm.
then you're kind of breaking down what even it is you're doing. You have to really understand it. And as you say, the price comes from that as well, but that holds value moving forward. But it's such a vital point. So what are you doing at the moment in terms of marketing for yourself? How are you going about acquiring customers and what are you finding that's working well?
So I do the same as I teach my clients, which obviously makes sense. But everything I do is very like personality driven. It's very human centric. So it's not about hiding behind a logo. It's not about loads of paid ads to something that's nothing to do with me. It's completely building relationships. So I'm really big on, yeah, relationships, visibility, and community. So it's about getting yourself out there. So this is what I do. LinkedIn's a really core platform for me, Instagram as well. Don't overcomplicate it. Like, don't try and do everything. Those are my two platforms. That's what I focus on. And I do quite a bit of networking. So for
Okay.
me, all of those work together. If I meet somebody in networking, I'm connecting with them on LinkedIn, I'm messaging them, I'm finding them on Instagram, I'm messaging them. And it all
Yeah.
works really well together. And that's exactly what I teach clients as well, is have an ecosystem, meet
Mhm.
people, bring them into your world, have free offers, have low ticket offers. They can bounce around those. They may become a high ticket client, they may not. Either is absolutely fine, but it's about building that community around you to make people see you as the obvious choice. So that's what I do, and that's what I help clients with as well.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it was actually Google that come out with a study where it's like 7 steps of rapport before you actually kind of start to build a relationship with somebody online. And that really
Yeah.
goes into, you have the lower tickets, the groups that they can come into, the communities there. They really start developing that personal trust that you get with the personal branding, the personal marketing, I suppose. So I love that. And then to help with the organic growth, are you running any form of paid ads across social media, or is it purely kind of where we are at the moment?
Yeah, currently no paid ads. I have previously. A lot of my outreach is all organic. It's all just speaking to people, connecting with new people, networking. There may potentially be some ads coming in again next year, but for me, it's just being really careful not to lose the relationship building side when there's ads involved. So it's bringing them in at the right point and into the right place, that it's not, you're not trying to just make a sale through ads. It's
Mm.
just about bringing them into your world.
Yeah, driving the traffic in. I
Yeah.
agree. I like that. And then in terms of the sales process, do you have a team at the moment that help you onboard clients and move people through your pipeline, or are you doing it all yourself?
It's all me. It's all me. I have somebody that helps me with lead gen, the
Okay.
actual sales side. I'm the only person somebody will ever speak to. And that's, again, really important for me. It's something that might have to be considered kind of as we grow and stuff. But right now, I want to be speaking to everybody, because if I'm going to be their consultant, they need to get to know me and they need to like me, because as many people do like me, don't like me. And that's absolutely fine. Like, I've experienced it a few times recently where I'll be presenting in a group and half of them will be like smiling and nodding along. The other half will be kind of like just looking like, who is this person? And so we need to meet. I need to know I like them. They need to know they like me for us to be able to work together.
Gotcha. So yeah, it's such a personal experience. As you say, they need to work well on both sides. You have to
Absolutely.
know who you're talking to. So do you typically kind of treat it as like a deep diving call, more like a relationship builder, and then if it works on both ends, we can move forward from there?
That's it, exactly. And I always try to make sure people are aware of how I work and pricing before we get on that call, because I don't want them to feel awkward if they're then like, okay, I can't afford that, or it's actually not what I was looking for anyway. So it's about making sure that they have an understanding of how it will work. So then that
Mm,
call, that discovery call, is literally just about getting to know each other and seeing if it's a good fit. Sometimes that's not even necessary, because I have like, I run a free monthly marketing group. So some
okay.
people will come into that, will get to know each other in there, and then they'll say, okay, I'm ready to book on to whatever program. And we'll never have spoken one to one, but we'll have that understanding of each other.
Yeah, so she, as you say, she's been in the community long enough that she's seen enough of you to, or him, I suppose we shouldn't be discriminating on people, but they've seen enough of you
Yeah,
to understand what it's like and want to work with you.
that's
Great.
it. Absolutely.
So what are the plans moving forward? What do the next 12 months have in store for you? What do they look like?
That's kind of all being planned at the moment, but I'm going to be doing more and more group programs.
Mm.
I have just finished running a LinkedIn bootcamp and I'm just starting tomorrow a new group program. So that's going to become more and more of what I do. I still want to do the one-to-one, but I
Okay.
want to create more accessible offers for people, perhaps at a slightly lower price point. And some people
Mm.
just love the group atmosphere, right? Because you can all learn from each other, you can all kind of share the experience together. And it makes the business more scalable for me as well. So that's the plan over the next kind of 6 to 12 months, which is exciting.
Yeah, it definitely will help you out in terms of timing and kind of alleviating some pressure on your side
Yes,
of things. But a group
absolutely.
option is incredible, especially for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs. It can be quite a lonely world sometimes. Like you don't
Mm.
have colleagues to bounce off of, you don't have ideas to share. So having a community involved is very cool. And then I suppose what is the biggest challenge in getting this up and running?
I think the same as most business owners, it's time. It's just managing my energy and my motivation as well, because I can push myself way too far. And then I'll just sit there and just be like, I just can't make myself do it right now. So I would say it is time and the wider business strategy and managing my own ambition, I suppose, in that, like, taking the steps, but taking them step by step and not trying to like jump straight to the top one. I'm quite guilty of that. So yeah, something in that is my biggest hold up at the moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you was the only guilty person in that, but I am curious, what is the end goal then? What is the top goal that we're aiming for?
For me, it's about freedom. It's about living a life that I love. It's about being able to spend time with family and not have to constantly be like, oh, I'm working till whatever time or stressing about missing work for a day. that is the goal. Obviously, there's then the financial side of that needs to kind of support it. But it's the idea of living a life where I have complete flexibility, probably have financial freedom to a certain extent, but I know that I'm still really helping other people. That is the goal. What that exactly looks like is TBC, but that's the goal.
I like that, but you've got the dream at the end. As you say, like
Yeah,
everything building up that can change, things happen, people pivot. It might speed up, it might slow down, but
yeah,
that's the ultimate freedom. I love that.
exactly.
I really enjoy that journey. So Meg, before we log out, I do have a couple of lightning round questions I want to ask you.
Okay.
So, when it comes to scaling a business, what would you say is the best piece of advice?
Someone told me years and years ago, he was like, I didn't even know him, he just emailed me. He was like, if anyone can give you any advice, he said, it's double your prices. He was like, whatever they are right now, double your prices. And I was like, no, 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 I can't do that. I was charging like some ridiculously low, like 20 quid an hour for socials management, I suppose. And I was like, absolutely no way would someone pay 40. My hourly rate is now like way over £100 an hour. But it's taken me a lot of years to get there and to feel confident in that. But the way he explained it was that if you're charging low rates, people will put low value on what you do and you're fighting with the bottom feeders. Whereas if you actually price yourself in comparison to your value, people will immediately have that higher perceived value. So that's been a really big thing for me is learning to price myself appropriately for my value, but also for how much time I've got, rather than just trying to take on more and more work at a lower price point, working backwards and being like, this is the time I've got. How much work can I do? How much do I need to charge?
Yep. And then as you scale as well, it is so much better for you having that higher price point. Not only is the value there, you have better customers, you have better testimonials at the end of it as well.
Yeah,
But your time becomes more precious. And as you say, you've got groups that you can introduce, you've got communities, you've got memberships, bringing them in and upgrade them from there. But
definitely.
love that. And then as a final, I mean, let's jump to another one. What would you say is one big tool or resource that's been a big game changer in the business so far?
Like a piece of tech, do you mean? Like a software?
Yeah. I mean, anything you think of, even if it's hardware, like anything that you've kind of implemented, and was like, that saved me, or that'd be worth sharing.
I mean, having a good pipeline and a good way to track your leads is completely invaluable. I'm not a huge techie person, so I use a mixture of a spreadsheet and Asana to do that. I've tried different like lead tracking CRM. It's just not really for me. They never quite do what I need them to do, or they do too much. But I would say that is a tip or something that I'm glad I've learned. As far as like actual sort of software and stuff, Canva is
Mm.
always every business owner's dream, isn't it? And if anyone's not using it, then they should.
Love that. I would say Asana as well is a good shout. It's very like organizational, great for tasks, great if you've got a team as well, because you can share
Yeah.
the tasks the team.
I've actually got another one as well that didn't come to mind is Motion
Yeah.
AI, which that has been a real game changer because I am somebody who needs to time block. But
Mm.
if I just write a list, I just won't do it because I'll be like, oh, I'll get through it all, and then I'll be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, and then you just never do it. Whereas seeing like, okay, I've got an hour to do this, I need to get it done because then I need to do that in the next hour. That
Yes.
has made me a million times more productive. So I would definitely recommend that.
Love that. And then as a final question, if you could go back to a younger self and
Mhm.
only leave yourself with one piece of advice moving forward that you know now, but that you didn't know then, what would you say to
That is a tough one. If I went back to my teens and to when I was particularly ill, didn't have all these, like, didn't have a future, it would just be to not worry so much. Like it will all be good. Same everyone says, isn't it? But it will all work out so well and stop worrying about who likes you, who doesn't like you, if you're gonna have a job or whatever. Just try and enjoy life. It will all be good.
I love that. Amazing. And Meg, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can the listeners reach out to work with you or connect with you if they would like?
LinkedIn is the best place to find me. That is where I spend a very large proportion of my time. So come and find me on LinkedIn. It is literally just Meg Hutson. Connect with me. I'd love to chat. And Instagram as well at It's Meg Hutson. And my website, which is also just my name. But LinkedIn is the best place to find me.
Perfect. LinkedIn, Meg Hutson. Love it. Amazing. Thank you so much. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future by wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing effort, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team. and discover how we went from zero to $30 million per year. But until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on